Welcome, ladies and gents, to Skeleton Crew News, aka Skrew News. And at the top of the hour, guys, we're going to start off with some headlines. So, the Carrack Killer has been announced. The MISC Odyssey was announced in the latest SC video, guys. Is it the Carrack Killer? Well, we're actually going to speak about this at the end of the hour as well and do a deep dive into the Carrack Killer. It can mine, it can refine quantanium, it can stay out in space forever. So yeah, well, it'll be interesting to compare this to the Carrack. In other news, the 600i rework. So all you 600i owners, you're going to get a medical bay, a tier 2 medical bay. You're going to get individual lodgings for your crew members. You're going to get docking collars, and you're going to get escape pods. We've all known that the interior of the 600i has been a little bit sterile, and it is being reworked as confirmed by CIG. Don't hold your breath though. It's going to take a little while for it to be released. Alien ships will not appear in the verse until they appear in Squadron 42. So all the Vandal ships and fighters and NPCs that we're all dying to see will first come out and pleasantly surprise us, no doubt, in Squadron 42 before they hit the verse. Also, weapon balancing, guys. Everyone, stay calm, Ace. Weapon balancing is ongoing. All the stats and figures and stuff that we're experiencing today, CIG is confirmed, is all just baselining, and they're figuring out how it's all going to fit together. So the range is going to change, the amount of ballistics is going to change, the ammunition you're going to get, all that stuff's going to change, guys. So just be patient, as weapon balancing is a continuous work stream that is happening. More and more ships are being released. We've had a storm of ships released in the last month or so. We've got the Ares Inferno and the Ion doing their absolute thing in the verse by destroying everything that freaking moves. We've got the Redeemer bullying everyone that it sees. We've had the Liberator that's been announced. We've also had, obviously, the Odyssey that's been announced. And it's not fun to be a freaking caterpillar pilot anymore with these ships lurking about. And a roadmap roundup, guys. 316 has been gutted is the headline, but we're going to actually have a deep dive into 316 and see what we like and don't like in today's feature. In other news, gear fear. People are so afraid of losing their favorite clothing that they're walking around in jumpsuits, and they've been found dead on stairs and elevators and at the what is it, the landing, or sorry, the elevator,
the terminals.
ASOP terminals, and the landing gear of the not the landing gear, freaking hell, the landing elevator of the raft. Famous content creator for Star Citizen, Carrack Killer, was banned for 24 hours. The naughty boy, he kind of pointed out a ship coloring mechanic called the hex code might never come out, or he was asking if it's going to come out. It caused a lot of controversy on Spectrum. CIG moved his thread to some other graveyard thread, and then he had a 24-hour ban. Interestingly though, CIG had a question about hex codes in the latest video today, and they confirmed that in fact they are still intending to allow players to color their ships in paint shops or specific locations in the verse, and they're going to work out, you know, what's going to be a paid skin, what's going to be colors and stuff that players can customize their ships with. So it is still happening. But I suppose thanks, Carrack Killer, for poking the bee's nest. And IAE wraps up, and we might talk about the ratings at the end of the show as well. And in minor news, I bought a raft, and I had to go through some interdimensional trickery just to get on board. And that sums up the headlines. Welcome back, guys, and welcome to the week in review. As always, I've got my trusty wingman straight from Lawville. Are you still in Lawville, Ace?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Ace, did you get any time to play SC the last couple of weeks?
Yes, I did. I went to the Expo every day. I checked out the Inferno even more and closer and took it into a lot of fights just to see it work. And
is it your new favorite ship or not really?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the ballistic one, obviously.
Yeah, the ballistic one.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it since the concept and got it right away.
Yeah.
But actually flying it is a big difference. Yeah, it's really fun.
It's a smooth beast. So did you take it onto bounties mainly? I would assume you can like effectively kill those M50s and stuff. Do you find, or do you find it a little bit annoying, or what's your thoughts on the effectiveness against smaller fighters?
So far the hardest fight I've had so far, and it wasn't a hammerhead or anything. It was 2 Mustang players yesterday.
Wow,
they were just circling me, and I managed to get them, but only because I focused on one guy first and then got the other. But they managed to actually drop my shields, which never happened before on the ship. So
you were dueling 2 Mustang players?
Yep.
Oh, well done. And you came out of it. There you go. Ares Inferno.
Yeah, but it cost me a little bit of effort. So I think it's really well balanced in terms of a small, fast fighter will kick you into oblivion, basically.
Right. Yeah. I haven't tangled anything. I own it, Inferno. I haven't tangled I haven't tangled an Ace fighter like a Gladius or an Arrow or anything like that yet. What did I get into? I think I was fighting a Nomad. I had a week of chasing bounties, Ace, where everyone was just running away and escaping, and that was getting tiresome.
Yeah, I've had a similar experience. Everybody just out of the game, and
I was looking at the Mantis because of it. And I'm not even a PvPer, and I'm going down this road of like, how do I trap someone? And I'm like, that's not even me, Moz. What are you doing? What has Star Citizen made you do? What happened to your cargo and logistics?
No, but seriously, that's a problem that should get addressed at some point. Like, give a logout timer of 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Your character stays there and your ship stays there for 2 minutes. So you only get to log out if you're actually safe and don't combat log. Yeah.
Anything else stick out, man? Do you wear your favorite clothing?
Absolutely.
Or you do? Okay, so you're one of the few
100%.
people. Okay, I feel ya.
Yeah, man. It's being a space pirate is about being recognizable and flashy colors and all of that. And if you don't keep up with it, you're doing it wrong.
That's it. So you've got the confidence. That's good. Unlike me, man. I'm like butt naked going into the cockpit.
Well, that's the other variant. I mean, if you can pull off missions in just underpants, that's just as respectable.
Was it with you? We went to a bunker with our hospital gown on, or was that with someone else?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's pretty gangster. The hospital gown attack is pretty gangster. So yeah, did you get anything else was highlight for you during this couple of weeks in the
Well, the
verse?
biggest highlight this week was I finally managed to get bunker missions finished. You know,
Yep, yep. They've
there's
been a pain
always
in
that
the
last guy
ass.
hiding in the closet, but this week they actually worked. So
Y-
I blame IAE, but we got
Yeah,
enough to look at it to look at, so
yeah.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, I don't like blaming events, man. You want to have an event, you plan for the event. I don't think you plan for, I have an event, everything's going to fail around me type thing. So you do other things like try and keep population loads down or something like that on each server,
Yeah,
which I think they kind of did.
yeah, I think they did, and
Yeah,
that's probably the reason why it worked so relatively smooth.
yeah.
I mean, for me at least, I've had 130K in the last 3 weeks.
Absolutely. It's the
So
30Ks have been it's so stable on one hand, and then we're dying in the stairwells and stuff on the other hand. But the 30K situation has improved massively, which is good news.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we still die of bugs here and there all the time,
Yeah,
but I remember 3.7 and 3.8 where you couldn't even take off a planet without exploding for no reason. So it's come a long way. Got
true, true.
some miles to walk still, but
Yeah, yeah, true.
getting there.
Yeah. Cool, man. Any favorites from the expo since you visited all the expos?
Um, I think my favorite was actually the Best in Show day.
Okay. Yeah.
I loved the presentation, like the big ships and that center stage, that small MPOV that was just it just looked great.
Yep.
I liked how they still managed to pull it off, so it looked like a winner
Yep.
in that picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my favorite.
And you know what? I was like, oh, who wants a bloody Argo cargo backpack? But I saw the artwork for it. It looks bloody awesome.
It's actually the prettiest in the game. I totally agree.
Yeah, I really like the Argo cargo backpack. Can't wait to get one.
But you don't have it yet. Okay.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so. Not yet.
I tried it on yesterday.
Oh, you've got it. I'm jealous. Nice.
It's my declared goal to steal every Argo backpack I can find in the verse now.
um, awesome, man. Anything else you'd like to add? You experienced or on your mind, Ace?
I'll keep that for the ratings.
All right, cool. So over to me, man. I bought a Argo Raft, which I've just noticed. I didn't even mention at the top of the hour about all the ships that have been released. Two of them I missed
Yeah.
out: the Raft and the Anvil Spartan. I
Pardon.
mean, there's just
Yeah.
so many ships that have come out in the last month. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So I got a Raft and. I fell in love with
Two.
the. Oh, you got one as well. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the interior of the Raft, man. I found for a two-man ship, for it to be really, really intelligently designed interior space, and that's what kind of charmed me.
Absolutely, man. These industrial looks it has, man, they are worth the smaller cargo space in comparison to other ships. It's really beautiful. They really pulled it off. The feel of the ship is just there. Even the flickering light going to the cockpit.
Yeah, yeah, and
Like,
the engineering porn is outstanding. It's just
yeah,
it's
it's
an
really
orgy
good.
of pipes and valves and or whatever all stuck together. It's a funky ship. Now it's gonna be tough. It's gonna have more armor. It has only a turret on top of the ship, so it's not a combat ship. I mean, obviously it's not a combat ship, but it's not a ship that's really meant to even be able to defend itself apart from potentially dumping its cargo and then running for it. And
I can see it as a support role in a pirate fleet
Right.
because it's so easy to grab cargo and get out again. You know,
Yeah.
there's no manual loading or whatever. You just grab the pots and be on your way.
Yeah.
So,
And that seems to be the main attraction. Well, the attraction's two things. Like a lot of people like, why doesn't it have more cargo? Why doesn't it have this? Why doesn't it have that? And even in today's video, the answer is flat out, it's a starter cargo ship. So yes, maybe you can imagine another 10 different, cargo pods underneath it or whatever. But, it was designed and intended to be a starter cargo ship. So it's not going to have more cargo than a Freelancer Max. And, it's not going to have, it's not going to have all these great and wonderful capabilities because it's just a starter ship for logistics drivers. So we have to keep in mind, sometimes when we see things and we're like, whoa, it looks like we can add another, Skrew here. Or we remember the Valkyrie came out and we couldn't put cargo into it or something. You can put a vehicle in the space.
people raged.
Yeah, people rage, and then it's like, well, yeah, it's gonna make the cutlass, redundant, and so I understand the balancing that kind of can break the immersion sometimes. But it's hard, man, with hundreds of ships. They've got to have these design limits on ships, or else it just makes.
Yeah. Also, I just think specialization of ships is better than an overall generalization. As in, if every ship can do everything, there's no need for 120 ships.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point. I couldn't get on my raft because there was some weird interdimensional portal at the elevator. So I just was like, I think I went into another dimension and had to find the exit from that dimension back into reality so I could actually get onto my Argo Raft. But hopefully that'll get fixed. The window next to the kitchen table.
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
Well, I got excited because there is a window, and then I realized the window only looks out on the cargo. After I bought it.
However, you gotta remember, for cargo people, that's probably the only thing they really care about in that moment. If you want to see space, you just go to the front.
True. I suppose the guy eating the sandwich can sit there and go, "Yep, cargo's still attached. We're good to go." I have to say, man, for me, 315 started off with a bang, and then it got rough for me and my friends. It got a little bit rough, a lot of dying, things not working and stuff. But that's the way of how things go with development. But then last week or last few days, it picked up so much that my last stream yesterday with the Skeleton crew, oh man, we played 4 or 5 hours, no 30Ks, and things just worked. So, it's hard to tell what's going on. I think sometimes they're working behind the scenes and things are moving and shifting, and we have periods of like horrendous bugs, and then things improve. So, but it's all giving me confidence though. Even that horrendous moment, the way that we kind of sort of came out of that moment where, I said last night's stream was really enjoyable. So,
Yeah, I've had pretty much the same experience, like ups and downs, but this week overall has been great.
Yeah.
Performance and game didn't crash.
And that rough period where I was dying on stairs, actually one of my friends nearly died on a railing last night, but he managed to escape the railing, which was epic. Because of that period, it has sort of shocked everyone to not care about what they wear, except the confident players like yourself. So hopefully slowly, as stability increases and I don't die on the stairs and on the elevators and stuff, I'll have the confidence to wear my my wanky gold executive armor. Actually, that's the first armor I wear because I actually don't care about losing it. But anyway, We chased bounties all over the place. We're chasing some players actually, and they kept escaping. That was kind of my week, and we did some bunker missions. And like you mentioned,
Last guy.
they started working, or they worked a few times in a row, and we were like, "Wow, that last guy he's out." So
I mean, I don't even mind them not working out in most cases, but the thing is, you lose reputation every time one of the mission fails.
yes, yeah.
So that's pretty annoying.
Yeah. So I was going to do two things, man. We're going to go through the roadmap, but I was going to go through a bit of a deep dive on the Odyssey versus Carrack Killer, or the Carrack discussion. I don't know if you had time to look at the little spreadsheet that I created just to help kind of put things in perspective, I suppose, and summarize their capabilities and stuff. If you just give me a secondo, see if I can bring that up for myself. What are your thoughts on the Odyssey, Ace? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Visually, let's start one by one. Visually, yeah,
absolutely, it's lovely. It's a great design. I like the cockpit and that little underslung prospector.
Yep.
Kind of thing they attached on the bottom. The big hangar is a big plus, and yeah, let's face it, it's got a lot of features that seem pretty useful in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you an exploration type of guy? Like, is that like, I don't know what that mechanic's going to look like, but let's say it exists. Does that tickle your fancy?
I don't want to limit myself in any way.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, I'd definitely give it. I will definitely give it a go. So
yeah. I'm going to compare it to the Carrack, right? Because
yeah, go ahead.
I need a point of reference when I compare things, because numbers don't mean anything to me unless they're compared to some other number, surprisingly. Yeah. So with the size, right? So the Odyssey is bigger in every direction. Like, it's longer, it's wider, and it's higher. So it's a much bigger ship than the Carrack. Fair enough. It doesn't mean anything. Cargo-wise, the Carrack has got more Skrew than the Odyssey. Carrack's got 456 Skrew compared to the Odyssey's 252. The maximum crew Odyssey, it says 6 on the ship matrix, but then somewhere else in the brochure or something I read 7, and the Carrack's is 6. Whatever, we don't really care about that stuff. Deep diving into some of the components, the radar, the Carrack's going to have 2 large radars, while the Odyssey is going to have 1 large. And guys, of course, any of this can change. Probably most of it will, but we can only go on what we got, right? So
yeah, it's different. The role for the ships is kind of different.
Yes.
One of them is like a military scout craft that is supposed to find new jump locations and whatnot, and the other one is to explore regions that have been discovered but not yet fully.
Yes, and stay out there and maybe scan and find things.
Spots.
Yeah. So okay, so the Carrack kind of zooms through unexplored space and then kind of heads back when obviously it runs out of fuel. That's the thing that I get confused with this Pathfinder thing, is that to discover jump points, to me that's like going to the edge of space. So that's where I struggle with the notion of the Carrack. You know what I mean, Ace? Like, if it could be more self-sufficient fuel-wise, then that...
Scoops?
Oh, it probably has got fuel scoops, but I don't know about quantum fuel.
Yeah, no, not for quantum, of course.
That's where I get a little bit confused about it. But it's got... It's got one more radar than the Odyssey. Computer-wise, which today actually in the video they were speaking a little bit about computers and how the AI blades are obviously going to be, part of the computers. Computers being called avionics, which makes more sense in my mind because I always thought computers, okay, spaceships. I know spaceships got computers. Every sci-fi film, the spaceship's got, billions of buttons and lights and stuff on the Enterprise and Death Star and stuff. But I was thinking, what do these do in game? Because there are actual specifications. So AI blades are definitely going to be, in that capability of this component called computers. So the Odyssey's got 4 medium computers. The Carrack's got 3. Utility items. The Odyssey's got a tractor beam and a mining beam, which is on that underneath little pod underneath the nose, that little prospector section that you were talking about, Ace. And the Carrack's got, on the other hand, the Carrack's got a repair room, which is a room that is limited by what you can carry into the room to repair it, and drones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
repair drones too.
Yeah, and maybe drones might have a different roadmap where there's different types of drones. There might be an exploration drone.
There will be.
Yeah. Moving on to missiles, the Odyssey's got 4 size 3 missiles at the moment, and the Carrack's got no missiles?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. And the armament, I get different views, right? Someone says the Odyssey's got size 5 turrets. I think 3 of them. The Carrack's got 4 turrets and smaller weapons. The Odyssey's got remote turrets, which I didn't really think of this, Ace, but a remote turret is better than a manned turret because the guy that's managing the turret is in the safety of the ship, in the belly of the ship, as opposed to being exposed in the manned turret.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. So,
however, I prefer manned turrets.
Yeah.
I don't really like the remote ones.
Okay. Why do you like the manned turret? Just the feeling of going somewhere and climbing up a ladder and activating it and stuff.
The rattling of the parts and
Sure.
the lights when you shoot stuff. And
Yeah.
Just more immersion. So I prefer those.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll get if it'll get to a point in this game where the damage becomes physicalized and localized, and you're like, where's Ace? And you run down the hallway and you open the door to his turret and there's nothing there but this gaping hole. And you're like, Ace is gone!
Yeah, that would be cool, man.
Ace is dead.
But I think they are actually planning to, I don't know to what degree, but to actually implement this. As in, if you shoot the cockpit of a ship enough times and you manage to get through the shields and through the armor, you might hit the pilot and you might just die, even if the ship is not.
Yeah. That'll be
I think
awesome.
it makes perfect sense that also happened in all the wars and such.
Yeah. So, I don't know, which one do you think is more combat orientated? You've got 4 size 3 missiles, you've got 3 size 5 turrets, I think, all 3 of them, maybe, remote turrets, or 4 smaller turrets, if you will, on the thing. I get some people saying the Odyssey's better at combat. I get some people saying no, the Carrack's better at combat. But it's such a fine line between the two. I find I don't know the size 5s and the missiles.
The one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing. Yeah, but it's just 4 missiles. Let's not kid anyone. That's if you spool them all up, that's one shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So which one do you think is more capable in combat?
I think once we get armor in, the Carrack will be so much more efficient than the Odyssey in combat.
Okay.
Because it's a military ship and it comes with extra shielding and not shielding, armor.
Okay.
It's supposed to be an armored ship, right?
Yep.
Or did I get that wrong?
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure, but it is a military. She's an ex-military ship, so I'd be
Well, it
surprised.
comes with that extra blinds that fold out over the cockpit, supposedly.
Okay,
So I assume it will be
tougher.
way better armored, and it will be able to take a bigger beating than the Odyssey. It's not always just about size.
Yeah,
It's also the other question is how well is the ship really protected? Because if you get two big turrets and they both point forward and have a lot of dead angles facing to the rear, they're kind of useless. And the Carrack does a pretty good job in covering all angles
yeah,
with those four turrets.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's true, especially with things like the Inferno and stuff running around. Like having a blind spot, it's going to be the
yeah,
end of you. So maybe that fourth turret doesn't matter about the size, even if it's one size smaller. Is covering the blind spots is more important. So that's a good point, Hayes.
I guess we'll have to see. It's a question of actually taking it into a fight and experiencing it firsthand.
Yeah. So the hangars, they both have hangars. The Odyssey's got a larger hangar, and I think by a significant amount. The Carrack's kind of even struggles, I believe, to put an arrow in because you put the wings up and it's not very high hangar or something. It's built for the Pisces. So the Odyssey's got a massive advantage with the hangar. Both of them seem to be able to have vehicles roll on and roll off. I've seen pictures of the Odyssey with vehicles rolling out of it, and obviously the Carrack, you can do the same. The Carrack's roadmap, though, is that it's got some modularity that you can change the modules on the Carrack. Gives it more flexibility to be able to change the role of the Carrack. Sorry to put you on the spot, Ace, do you know much about these modules?
There's not much known about the modules yet, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I couldn't find too much
still
information.
far away.
Yeah.
But I was imagining like those modules could be, one of them could have a refinery thing in it. The other one could have I don't know, like a recharging thing.
Right. Yeah.
So it would drastically improve the performance capabilities of the ship and would make it self-sufficient, or at least improve its self-sufficiency
Yeah.
to make it a competitor. But we'll have to see what actually comes in, and if it's not just like, hey, here you got
A
an
pool
additional
table.
car.
Yeah. Nah, it'll be something significant, and I think there'll be at least one or two different modules which will drastically change the ability of the ship. So that versatility is a positive there for the Carrack.
I mean, it could even be a bomb bay.
Yeah, why not?
It's a military ship
A
in the first
missile
place.
array or something, yeah.
Yeah, who knows, man.
Combined with the drones, repair drones, you might have exploration drones and all that stuff. So a lot of versatility there with the Carrack. But looking at the system, moving on to the system components, this shocked me, man. The Odyssey is shown as having capital class components. I don't know if this is going to stay or what. If this is some ship matrix, just garbage, mumbo jumbo. But I'm like, holy cow, this thing's got capital class, whereas the Carrack's only got large components. So this thing is going to be tough. Like, despite maybe even it not having armor, and again, there could be a lot of rebalancing happening, but as it stands and with the information we have, this thing's going to be, capital class shields and other components is going to be a big boy.
I think that's necessary though, because of the larger size.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I mean, the larger sides, it's only 14 meters longer, 14 meters wider, 5 meters higher. So yes, it's bigger, but it doesn't dwarf the Carrack. So it's
No,
it's almost like it's just crossed this barrier between a very large ship to a very small capital ship or something. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think the difference is probably you can park it in in a large hangar or you can't.
Right. Okay.
I don't think. Yeah, don't know. Maybe they set the bar there.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if it keeps its capital class, which is what I wrote in our Discord. It'd be interesting to see if that gets changed or not. Other capabilities, obviously, is the range of the Odyssey. It's self-sufficiency. It can mine quantanium, it can refine it into quantum fuel, and then keep going. So that's pretty cool, and obviously fuel scoops for refining hydrogen. So its range and self-sufficiency is it's just designed to stay out in space. Whereas the Carrack, it's got a capability of jump charting. So the big I don't know what to call them, the hollow globes, the big hollow globe on the bridge or whatever.
Basic map.
That's it. That's going to be used at some point to jump chart between and discover new jump points and all that stuff theoretically. So we'll have to wait and see. And obviously the medical facilities on board each ship, each one's got a tier 2 medical facility, and the Odyssey at the moment is going for $687.50 US. So it's a big buy. Would I buy one? My answer is no. I wouldn't buy one. I don't have the money to buy one. But if I had a Carrack, I think the Carrack's got as much to do in the game and a little bit more right now in the state of the game today, because it's got significant cargo space, so you can do the cargo stuff, and anything else that you would want to do in the Odyssey, you could do with the Carrack. You're not going to go mining in the Odyssey in one solar system at Stanton. Like, what's the point of it? It's going to be a pain in the ass, really, lugging this huge ship around and filling up your quantum fuel when you can just land at a R&R and pay $4 to refuel. So
Yeah.
for me, the Odyssey is for the future of the game. The Carrack's, for me anyway, for the now. And it doesn't mean the Carrack's got no future. I'm not saying that by any means. This is just my take on it. But what about you, man? The Carrack or the Odyssey?
I like them both. I think the Odyssey would make a perfect ship for a really small org, like 6-7 people, and they use it as their main base and have like their 2 or 3 extra small ships in the hangar stored away. And the Carrack I see more as a role in a bigger fleet.
Yeah.
Where it has its dedicated place and its crew and people do Carracky things in it for the good of the organization. So it's more of a, I don't know, I like to think in those ways. When I look at ships and usability of them, like how can they be used in the org, and what's the use of it? I mean,
yeah, you just got me thinking that the Odyssey is for space hippies and the Carrack's for more like organized sort of people in organizations and stuff.
it looks a bit like one of those VW camper vans from the 70s.
It does. All right, man. That's that. Thanks a lot, Ace. Let's move on to our next segment, which is, I wanted to have a look at 316. Everyone was saying 316 is being gutted. So let's go down the list here. This is tentative. I thought it was committed, but this first item is tentative, and that's the art updates for DNA and archetype heads. So character creation, man. Is that something important to you? Are you into that stuff or not? Yeah?
Yeah, every time I have to reset or we get wipes or whatever, I spend my fair amount of time to make the dude look as he's supposed to look, you know?
Yep. Yep. I mean, I'm a role-playing RPG player, so you could guess my answer.
Yeah.
And I was surprised actually that a lot of people, when we had that bug where it was defaulting to that same dude, a lot of people were a bit agitated. And more people than I thought. Like, I thought not many people would have cared about what they look like, but that bug revealed to me that actually a lot of people do care about what they look like, even in this early stage, even with this very limited selection, that we can do. But yeah, go ahead.
It's a very personal thing, and taking that away was painful.
Yeah.
To some, let's just say.
And
yeah, it's better to have it than to miss it.
Yeah, and
especially once you got used to it,
Yeah. I build the same guy. I can't wait for facial hair, dude. I'm dying to have a beard. All my characters have beards.
At least a shade, man. Come on.
That's it. Some scars. Yeah. So that's tentative. So DNA head texture update. So we're gonna get more options. Which is great.
I think they reworked the skin textures.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of makes sense. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just textures and not actually new faces, which makes me sad because I'm excited for new faces and beards and stuff. So that's that. The next thing is location. So I'm happy about this. Area 18 is getting a hospital. I chose my home to be at Area 18. I just role-played it. I think that's where I want to hang out. So that's going to get a hospital. Looks pretty nice.
I might move there. Area 18 is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's got weapons, ammo. Probably doesn't have as much stuff as New Babbage shopping-wise. But I actually struggled to get food there, though, dude. There's all these vendors, but none of them sell food. Like interact.
Spoiled.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So seriously, I was on stream and I was dying of thirst, which is again another good testament to the stability of the servers. When you're actually dying of thirst or hunger, it means things are working. And I was running around like mad trying to find somewhere to eat, and I couldn't find anything. And then I was like, I need to go to the t-shirt shop. So I went to Kasaba, and that's where I found a green liquid, or a green green bottle, that refreshes you and gives you food. Replenishes your hunger.
That was a smoothie or something.
Something. It's in a green bottle, man. Look out for it, dude. Lifesaver.
Yeah, I always carry 2 cans of A20, as one does.
Nice. So, Area 18 Hospital. Go to Area 18, guys. Best place to live once the alien ladies and funky cyberpunk stuff gets added. I think it's by far the best place in Stanton, but wait and see. The next thing that's committed is derelict spaceships, point of interest, and this is committed, so this is coming. Points of interest that will be scattered on the planets that will be derelict spaceships with some type of activity, puzzle or traversal, and some type of reward for resolving said activity. Does that excite you, Ace?
Yeah, absolutely. Makes it be a mission without being a mission. That's always good.
But don't we have derelict spaceships already?
Yeah, but that's in dedicated missions only, and I think they only get spawned in if you take the mission, and it's also... Well, no, we also have the Javelin. And yeah, there's a few wrecks. But
not much to do there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's also that mission with the down satellite, which always was buggy for me so far. I could never finish it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a good location for a screenshot.
Yes, it is. On Hurston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is more things to do. So when you jump on with your org, we do we do, I mean, in a perfect world, we might go mining, we might do some logistics, but we'll talk about those later in future episodes. We do bounties. You go after players and try and kill players. And then you go do bunkers. But now we'll have derelict spaceships to add to the list, which is good. So that's committed, guys. That's coming in 3.16. Gameplay, we've got mining gadgets. So these little contraptions that you go out, stick on a rock, and they will help very large rocks become easier to mine. Is that anything that tantalizes your taste buds, Ace? I know you're not much of a miner.
Not at all, but I can see this being very interesting for everybody who is a miner and has met that limitation of, oh, I can't mine this rock because I don't have laser XYZ.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think
if that's a workaround for it, then it includes a minigame. I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I think it's ship. Mining gadgets will help to modify the rock and assist the player with mining a deposit. The player can attach a device physically to a mineable deposit in FPS to modify its stats, making mining easier and safer or quicker and riskier. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm a bit of a miner. Admittedly, I haven't been mining the last few patches. I have been a little bit just to get prices for our own kind of intelligence in the skeleton crew and our own spreadsheet. But besides that, I haven't been doing as much mining as I used to. So this is definitely going to drag me back into that. So that is also committed, guys, coming in 3.16. Next thing is the Dying Star map for Arena Commander. I thought that was already updated, but it wasn't. Okay, no. Only the Dying Moon map, I think, was updated. So anyone that's into Arena Commander, you get a new map. Much bigger, new playable areas, more cover options, and new space assets floating around to zoom around in. So that's pretty cool. The next thing, Ace, I don't know, I'm pretty excited. Lev Physics Rework.
Which is great because they behave like wet bars of soap in a tub.
Aren't they so broken now, aren't they?
Yeah, man. You can't even land them in most ships because they will just not land. You have to trick around, like turn it off at the right moment so it just falls into the ship.
Yeah.
And you have to be lucky not to explode. Yeah, it's...
Yeah. Like here at my office in Grim Hex, if I didn't have my green screen, right behind me is a big picture of a yellow dragonfly, nicely framed, and I can't use it. I've got one in game as well, so...
Yeah, they really needed a little rework, and I welcome it.
Yeah, can't wait, because it's fun. Like, these vehicles are super fun. Zooming around the surface of the moons in a Dragonfly or an Ox is super duper fun. I'll just read the card for you. Significant rework of the flight and driving model for Graveler vehicles when hovering. The aim is to improve general feel and stability, resulting in a far better experience for users. So bring that on, and that is committed. Bring on the Dragonfly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next is something me, you, and Delta have spoken about. You know my thoughts on it. But you know what? I mean, any event is a good event, I suppose. But Jump Down 2.0 is coming in 3.16. So straight into a new event, guys.
I'm curious to see what they did. I bet it's gonna be fun anyway. So I guess they will be doing something like Xenothreat.
Yeah.
But with different parties, like maybe some pirate gang or something.
Yeah. And
we'll see. It might be really fun though.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be fun. It will be fun. My only reservation was the lack of imagination. I mean, just do this, whatever you're doing, in the same assets and the same everything, and just call it something else type thing. Like, just disguise it as something else if you have to. Like, a different bit of lore than this player created event. But you know what? That's that's a minor gripe. Now, have you seen the picture of the building? Is that new assets?
Like, yeah, that looks a lot like a very modified version of the jump tone I'm used to.
Absolutely, they've added heaps to it. So
It's almost like twice the stuff.
Yeah. I can see some FPS battles and ships bombing and A2s just coming at the end and carpet bombing the area. just to really close things off. So yeah, Jump Town 2.0, guys. For me, as always, we always say this is alpha test, so I'm very interested to see how the servers will perform. And
Yeah.
finally, my friend, it's committed as well. Sorry, is Jump Down committed? Yep, Jump Down is committed, so that means it's happening. Next is Laser Trip Mine Tier 0 is committed. Woe be all of us. That's all I'm going to say.
Planning.
Tell me, in the state of the game today, where are you going to use... I'll give you... I think I've come up with one idea already. Where are you going to be using yours? Or in what way? Please
in
share.
Bunkers and in 890 missions, I think they could be very useful.
Okay. Yep.
Ever since the NPCs started running around.
Yep.
And changing rooms and sometimes surprising you from behind, I think trip mines are a good idea.
Okay, so you're going to be moving along, putting your trip line down, moving along, and if someone comes from behind, bada bing, bada boom.
He goes poof. Exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking for me, man, whenever I'm clearing my crime stat at Security Port Korea, and I'm always in the middle of that place, like shaking in my boots, waiting for someone to come. If I had a few trip mines around, that'll make me feel a little bit better.
Absolutely.
So that's it. That is our little run down the 3.16 patch that's coming. So thanks, Ace, and I think we're going to wrap up the show. And that sums up our Skrew news for this fortnight, guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to ask us any questions, if you want to give us any feedbacks, please do leave comments below, or you can @ me at Moster69 on Twitter. And come and join us on my streams as well. I'm Moster, MOZSTA on Twitch as well. And till next time, my friends, stay safe in the verse. Bye for now.